Hi, and welcome to Retirement with Jim. Today, we're going to talk about Medicare, specifically what is the cost of your Part D? What is it costing you for your drugs and your medicine? Um, right now is the sign up period, which is from October 15th through December 7th. And for those of you that are retired and have Medicare, you're getting this book in the mail or have gotten this book in the mail. And this year it's a lot more important than maybe in years past. And that's because a lot of changes have taken place in this past year. And so with that, there's a lot more additional cost and changes in plans that you need to be aware of. So before we go any further, if you like my content, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button, and it helps my channel grow. And please feel free to leave comments. I love to hear what your thoughts are. If you agree with me, disagree, I'm open to all comments that come my way. So with that, we'll continue. So Humana, and I've got some notes here, so I'm kind of looking at my notes. Humana is leaving 13 markets across the country. That's leaving 560,000 people to need to go find a new insurer. And of course, they're saying they're leaving those markets because it's not affordable for them anymore. They can't maintain their profit level is what it is. And a lot of changes have taken place, this year, with the government really forcing them to negotiate more on the drug plans, the certain drugs that they are capping a cost on. One way the big pharma is fighting back is they are getting out of some of the markets. They are reducing the amount of plans that they have made available to people. Along with that, they are changing the deductibles and the copays and higher premiums. So you're going to bear more of the cost simply because they're like, oh, we need to maintain the amount of money coming in, and they put it under being profitable, but they're never going, belly up. That's for sure. They make so much money and they have guaranteed money from the government that we all should wish that we have that kind of income. My wife had Aetna, and when she started her plan, she was paying $5.40. And then the next year it went up to just a little over $10. So it doubled. So this year it went up to $44. Forget the double, because double would have been $22 and some change there. Went up to $44. And the thing for my wife is my wife's very healthy. She's not sick. She's not used her drug plan whatsoever. So for someone who hasn't needed it, and of course you have to have it, that was an additional $440 a year that we were going to have to pay just to keep that policy. Didn't make sense. So she went out and she found a new one. She got a cheaper one, and she's not so worried about, we'll see how it goes and whether, how well it turns out beneficially to her. But I think as long as she stays healthy, it's going to be beneficial. And keep in mind your plans, you get to change plans every year during October to December. So even if you turn around and say, hey, this didn't work out for me, you can start looking around for something new early on. For me, my plan went up only $5, and I have Cigna. And I decided it's all worked well. I have some medications I have to take on a regular basis, and so I didn't think that there was a need to change, and so we left it. That small increase, can live with. But For instance, on my wife, when her plan, with Aetna, when she first joined, there were three options, three different type of plans you get. Now this year with the $44 increase and the plans went down from 3 to 1. You only had one choice. That was it. So, one way that the big pharma is fighting back is cutting out plans and they're charging you more money. And it's just a terrible situation. So you got to really be proactive. You got to look, and we have the supplement plan. So we chose the G plan, and it works for us based on our choices for healthcare. We wanted more choice, more freedom, and so we did not have the Advantage plan. One thing to keep in mind with the Advantage plan is you don't have any say-so in what your Part D is. So if you choose an Advantage plan, you will be given, shall we say, assigned a Part D plan, with no choice in that matter. So, and, if it works out for you, that's good. But, everyone's got to make a choice for what is good for them. So I'm not here to say the Advantage plan is a terrible plan. Healthcare is healthcare, and it's great to have it. But for myself and my wife, we opted for the supplement plan because it really made a lot more sense. The D plan really is something you got to look at because they capped off, as the government has, and it's a good thing. They capped cost of some drugs, and they're trying to make it more competitive and negotiate more. There are at times downsides. The downsides is they're going, oh, we have to live under these restrictions. What can we do to maintain a profit level? So it's important to look at, that book and make what your choices are and make good choices based on what you think you need for yourself. One of the golfing buddies there. And, get out there and, take a good hard look at it. So in the past, people just kind of like, oh, okay, if you, every year at sign up, if you don't want any changes, you just leave it alone and it just rolls. But if you don't pay attention, and they don't necessarily advertise, you really got to pay attention to what goes on out in the news and, and articles out there about Medicare to make sure that you are understanding what changes are coming in place. Now, when you get the book, it's in the book, but you aren't necessarily getting advance notice. Like, for instance, my wife's plan, they didn't send her any notice that, she was going from $10 and I think 20 cents up to $44. Once she looked at it in the book, it was like, oh my God. So be proactive. Make sure you're looking at it, read the book, read the info in there. It's kind of boring. It's the insurance stuff. But in today's world where every penny counts, you want to be able to make sure you're making choices that are good for you. So keep in mind, costs are going up and they're going to try and push more costs on you, the consumer. So with that, I'm going to call it a day and say, have a good one. I'll see you in the next one.